So there's been a bit of a technological and consumer revolution going on around visual self-representation that started with the invention of photography around 1826. That then gradually became more refined and turned into a movement of studio photographers where if you had the money you could get a photo taken. And then a revolution happened with Kodak's George Eastman, who invented the box Brownie camera in 1901. Now that meant that anyone who could afford it could take their own photos and send them in for processing, which was effectively the birth of family photography. Now things gradually developed further as more advanced photographic technology was invented, which naturally culminated with digital cameras and smartphone cameras. Alongside that, of course, was the journey of film, invented by the Lumiere brothers with the cinematograph in 1895, and then made more accessible to people in 1898 when Burt Akers invented the Bertac camera, which was eventually challenged by Kodak again as they developed rival technology for a mass market. Eventually home video morphed across different film formats like Super 8, and eventually evolving into other analogue formats like VHS, Betamax, and then digital. So why is all this important? Well, until the invention of photography, or you could argue the growing popularity of silhouette portraits in the 18th and 19th centuries, to have a visual representation of yourself meant you either needed to be or know a dab hand with a paintbrush or pencil. You needed an artist. And whilst there were artists from a variety of different socio-economic backgrounds, you were far, far less likely to have a visual representation of yourself or your loved ones if you didn't have much money. So to possess a visual representation of yourself or your family was very much a privilege of the wealthier people in society until Kodak revolutionised things for the world. So skip forward to now with smartphone technology, and we don't just have a multifunctional device in our bag or our pocket with which we can take photos and videos, but we can technically share it with the world with the push of a button. And that is also something not to be taken for granted. Because until the age of the internet and self-publishing, there was a lot of logistics and money involved to publish still or moving images to share with the world in the way we do now. And social media has only added to this. Even in my own experience, when I first learned how to shoot video, we had these big cameras that we had to sling over our shoulder, and then we literally had to go into a physical room to actually edit it because the technology was so bulky. And now we can film and edit just using our smartphones. But it doesn't stop there, because with this smartphone revolution, companies started to really invest in manufacturing equipment to get the most out of the video capabilities of smartphones. Because whilst the onboard technology is amazing, you still need ways to get them onto tripods and get steady shots and improve the audio, all of which you'll learn later on in the course if you've signed up for the paid modules. In fact, it was the increasing quality and options around smartphone video at the time when organisations were increasingly hungry for video content that inspired me as a professional filmmaker to offer courses to organisations around the world on how to shoot video on their smartphones. Now, many people thought I was mad. Why would I teach people to do what I do professionally? But the fact is that even with household name organisations I was working with, like Amazon, BMW, Costa Coffee and River Island, to name just a few, these guys could afford to get professional videos created, but still wanted that in-the-moment possibility around whipping their phones out and shooting great looking and sounding video content for their learners. So there you have it, in the smallest nugget possible, a whistle-stop tour of how you're in a position your ancestors never were in because of the evolution of technology and the accessibility and affordability of it. Everything effectively is connected to the great George Eastman of Kodak.